I keep a zombie girl at home. She's insanely beautiful and can evolve endlessly. To everyone else, she's a cold-blooded killing machine, but in front of me, she's as obedient as a little lamb. Whatever I tell her to do, she does it without hesitation. But just yesterday she was nothing more than a stiff, ugly zombie. Even my classmates laughed at me for it. Because in this world everyone can summon a spirit companion. Once you reach a certain age, you receive an egg, and whatever hatches from it determines your entire future. Some people hatch firebirds and become heroes who guard cities. Others hatch dragons and become powerful dragon riders. But me? I got a zombie, a useless one that couldn't even evolve. Just when I was at my lowest, a voice suddenly echoed in my head, "System activated." Without hesitation I chose evolution. In the next second the zombie began to glow, and transformed into a long-legged beautiful girl. I couldn't believe it, even her touch felt completely human. In just 1 week the academy entrance exam would begin. If you fail you'll be stuck at the bottom of society for life. Even though the system removed my zombie's evolution limit, her level was still too low. Right now, there was only one goal: level up. So we immediately headed outside the city. But the moment we arrived we were attacked by several skeleton soldiers. At the same time, the system issued my first mission: kill 20 skeletons. Reward: experience points. Without hesitation, I gave the command: attack. In the next second, her hands turned into blood-red claws, and with a single swipe 2 skeletons were instantly destroyed. Seeing this, I was overjoyed. With a monster like this, wouldn't I be unstoppable? In just a few moments all 20 skeletons were completely wiped out. Mission complete. Her level instantly rose to tier 1, level 3, and I even gained a bonus stat point. Since her attack power was already insane, I decided to invest that point into magic resistance. After that, we set our sights on a stronger target, the skeleton captain. Because not only did it give more experience, it also had a higher drop rate. But just as we were about to make a move, someone else got there first. I hid nearby to take a look, and it turned out to be the school's top beauty, Luna Hart. She was a recognized genius, already at tier 1, level 7 at a young age. Facing the skeleton captain she didn't panic at all. Instead, she summoned her spirit beast, a rare sub-dragon. With just one strike the skeleton captain was completely crushed. Seeing this, I was shocked. Her strength was insane. But suddenly, she turned and looked straight at me. "Come out. What are you sneaking around for?" I froze. I'd been discovered. Before I could even explain myself, she frowned and said, "This place is dangerous. Don't wander around with a useless zombie." Hearing that, I got annoyed. "Where I go is none of your business." Then I turned and walked away. That instantly pissed her off. "I was trying to help you. Fine, I want to see what a trash like you is doing here." And just like that, she secretly followed me. Of course her tracking skills were terrible. I couldn't even be bothered to react. But suddenly, a pale hand shot out from the ground and grabbed my ankle. In the next second, several skeleton captains burst out of the ground along with a massive army of skeleton soldiers. What? How can a zombie be this beautiful? Before anyone could react, she moved. In an instant she charged straight into the swarm of skeletons. With one punch, the skeleton captain was blown apart. Seeing this, Luna Hart's eyes widened in shock. This zombie is way too strong. At that moment, the system released 2 new missions. Kill 20 skeleton captains. Reward: special equipment. Kill 100 direct upgrade. Seeing those rewards, I didn't hesitate. Go all out. She immediately activated her skill, Berserk Blood. By sacrificing her own health, her speed and strength skyrocketed. Combined with her natural lifesteal ability, she became an absolute killing machine. Meanwhile, I didn't just stand there. I used my spirit skill, Energy Chains, locking a skeleton captain in place. The next second, she appeared right in front of it and with one kick, crushed its skull instantly. Watching from a distance, Luna Hart clenched her fists tightly. Because at this moment she realized something terrifying. Even her dragon might not be a match for this zombie. With our perfect coordination, we quickly wiped out most of the enemies. But as more and more skeletons kept coming, even in berserk mode, she started getting exhausted. Her breathing grew heavier and her clothes were torn apart in the battle. Luckily, right at that moment, the system rewarded her with a special item, a unique battle outfit. Not only could it block damage, it also repaired itself automatically. Completely indestructible. Even though I kinda wanted to keep watching, I still told her to put it on immediately. After that, we continued farming monsters, killing more skeleton captains, and soon, she reached tier 1, level 4. Just like that, time flew by. And before we knew it, the academy entrance exam had begun. The city lord along with representatives from the top 4 academies had all arrived. Then the rules were announced. Round 1, a survival trial inside a monster-filled secret realm. last for 3 days, and only those who survive can move on. After that, a combat tournament. And in the end, only the top 10 would have a chance to enter the elite academies. Of course, Luna Heart was also participating. As the school's top genius, everyone believed she would take first place. Some even mocked me, saying someone like me, with a trash zombie, had no chance of passing. But I didn't bother arguing. I'd let my results do the talking. Soon, the entrance to the secret realm opened. The moment I was teleported inside, I immediately summoned her. But after walking for a long time, not a single monster appeared. Just as I started feeling confused, something suddenly attacked me from above. It was a steel-feathered bird. An adult of this species was usually tier 4 way beyond my current level. But luckily this one was just a juvenile. Attack! Without hesitation, I gave the order. She leaped into the air, jumping dozens of meters in a single bound, and struck the bird directly. That one hit nearly crippled it. The bird panicked and immediately fled. Unfortunately, she couldn't fly, so we had no choice but to let it go. After that, we found a cave, planning to hide there and safely survive until the end. But unexpectedly, that same bird came back. However, because of her overwhelming strength, it didn't dare attack directly. Instead, it circled above us, waiting for an opportunity. Seeing this, I came up with a plan. I told her to hide and used myself as bait. Sure enough, the moment it thought she was gone, it attacked. Countless feather blades rained down like swords from the sky, a direct attempt to kill me instantly. But I was ready. I activated my energy shield. Even so, its attack was stronger than expected, and the shield was rapidly breaking apart. Just as it rushed toward me, I used my energy chains to bind it in midair. And at that exact moment, she appeared from the shadows and with a single strike, tore its head clean off. After killing the bird, I quickly checked what it dropped. Surprisingly, they were all high-grade purification materials. Unfortunately, my current level was too low to use them. But its body? That was a different story. This kind of meat was something you'd only find in 5-star restaurants. Looks like tonight we're eating well. Meanwhile, everything happening inside the trial was being broadcast live outside. And the moment the examiners saw my performance, they were stunned. A tier 1 level for beast defeated this easily. And that human-shaped spirit companion, even the city lord became interested. But when he checked my profile, he froze. A zombie? Everyone was in disbelief. Because in this world, zombies were known as the worst possible spirit companions. They couldn't evolve. They had no future. So how was mine this strong? While everyone outside was shocked, I was just casually eating roasted meat with her. But suddenly, rustling sounds came from the forest. A pack of wolves appeared. Leading them was a tier 1 level 7 wolf king. But I didn't panic at all, because after days of grinding, she had already reached level 9. These wolves? They were nothing. Go. The moment I gave the order, she charged straight into the pack. With one kick, the wolf was instantly killed. But the wolf king was cunning. Instead of fighting her, it bypassed her and rushed straight toward me. In an instant, I was about to be torn apart. But right before it could reach me, she appeared, blocking it. Her small frame seemed to hold endless power. She turned into a blur, and in a single pass, took one of the wolf king's eyes. That completely enraged it. With a furious roar, it charged again. But this time, she dodged effortlessly, then delivered a crushing kick straight to its neck. The wolf king collapsed instantly, dead. And just like that, it dropped rare materials. Wolf core dark blood essence. With these, her evolution was finally within reach. But suddenly, she stopped. Her body tensed up. Something was coming. In the distance, a giant snake was chasing someone straight toward us. And that person was someone I knew. Ryan Cole, the same guy who always mocked me, called me trash. Now? He was running for his life. Turns out, he had been hiding, trying to survive the trial by doing nothing. But his snoring woke up the snake. Now he had no choice but to run. When he saw me, he didn't feel relief. He felt opportunity. Without hesitation, he ran straight toward me, dragging the snake along. You're dead anyway. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. The next second, he activated his teleport and escaped, leaving me behind as the snake's target. TCH, what a coward. Even though she was strong, facing a tier 1 level 9 snake head-on would still be dangerous. And my current skills were too weak. So I made a decision. I upgraded my skill on the spot. Then, right as the snake attacked, I used enhanced energy chains to bind it completely. Now, she moved instantly and in one clean strike, pierced straight through its head. Dead. Watching this, the examiners outside were completely shaken. At this point, they had already made up their minds. No matter what, they had to recruit me. Meanwhile, I calmly collected the materials. After all, she was now just one step away from evolution. But before I could decide my next move, I heard intense fighting nearby. When I got closer, I saw something unexpected. It was Luna Heart. She was surrounded by wolves, and leading them was an even stronger wolf king. Even though her dragon was powerful, it couldn't handle that many enemies. After a long fight, it was already exhausted. She had no choice, retreat. But just as she tried to escape, the wolf king leaped into the air and bit down on her dragon. At that moment, for the first time, she panicked. She couldn't believe it. A genius like her might actually fail in the first round. And just as she was about to fall into despair, a voice sounded behind her. "Looks like your dragon isn't that impressive." She turned around in shock. "You?" And standing there was the very person she once called trash. Facing her insult, I didn't even bother arguing. Instead, I looked straight at the wolf king. Perfect timing. I was just worrying about materials for evolution, and now it delivered itself to me. "Go." She didn't hesitate. Activating Berserk Blood once again, she leaped straight toward the wolf king. The smaller wolves rushed in to protect their leader, but they were instantly torn apart. One strike each. No resistance. Seeing this, even the wolf king panicked. It tried to run. Don't let it escape. In the next second, she appeared right in front of it, forcing it into a desperate counterattack. But in Luna Heart's shocked gaze, the result was obvious. The wolf king was completely crushed. She stood there frozen. She couldn't believe it. In just 1 month, the trash she once looked down on had become this strong. What made it worse, he didn't even look at her. At all. After collecting the loot, I finally spoke. "Leave quickly. The blood will attract more monsters." But hearing that, her face suddenly turned red. She thought I was worried about her. So she hesitated, then said, "How about we team up?" I paused for a moment. Honestly, bringing her along would be troublesome. But her dragon was injured, and leaving her alone here didn't feel right either. Just as I was thinking, she suddenly added, "I'll pay you 100,000 Federation credits." I froze. Then immediately, "Deal." She smiled politely, but inside, she was speechless. So in his eyes she was worth less than money. Then I stretched out my hand. "Payment." She blinked and shyly shook her head. "That's a bit too fast," I frowned. "Are you stupid? I'm asking for your card." She almost exploded on the spot. Since she didn't have it with her, I made her write an IOU and even pressed her fingerprint on it, just in case she tried to run later. Only then did I nod in satisfaction. "Contract complete. I'll protect you for the next day. After all, you're worth 100,000. At that moment, one truth became very clear. In my world, there's no such thing as eternal relationships. Only benefits. Even the school's top beauty was no exception. And just like that, I brought this rich lady along. Meanwhile, she was furious. As the school's goddess, she had never been treated like this before. And yet, in front of him, she wasn't even as valuable as money. But despite that, she still followed. Because deep down she knew staying by his side was the safest option. Meanwhile, everything that happened was being watched live. The teachers who were arguing earlier were now barely holding back their laughter. "Well, looks like your student got lucky. If she hadn't met him, she'd be out already. And that boy is far more interesting than we thought." Someone added, "Most of his strength comes from that zombie." Hearing this, even the city lord laughed. "Looks like all 4 academies are watching him now." Then suddenly, one of the academy representatives dropped a bombshell. "Our academy has never accepted male students. But for him, we're willing to make an exception." The others immediately reacted. "Oh? Trying to steal him already? Let's compete fairly." At this moment, all the top academies had their eyes on him. A boy who was once called trash was now being fought over by elite schools. And yet, he didn't care about fame. Didn't care about beauty. All he cared about was money. Meanwhile, Luna Heart couldn't hold back anymore. "How did you get so strong? Last time I saw you, you were barely tier 1 level 2. Curious, she moved closer. "Since we can't sleep anyway, let's talk." I wasn't interested. "Can't you just rest?" She crossed her arms. "Fine. I'll pay you 5,000 credits for chatting." The moment I heard that, I instantly appeared in front of her. "Deal." She smiled, then asked, "Your spirit companion, it doesn't look like a zombie." I casually replied, "It's just a mutated zombie." Of course, I wasn't going to tell her about the system. If that secret got out, I'd probably end up in a lab. She didn't question it further. "Your luck is really good," even though deep down, she was thinking, "That thing is not a zombie." Then she asked, "With your strength, you can definitely enter a top academy. So have you decided which one?" I thought for a moment, probably somewhere with more beautiful girls. Her expression froze. "Seriously?" After chatting for a while and finishing some food, I suddenly stood up. "Time to move." Luna Heart looked confused. "Move? Where?" Why not just stay here until the exam ends? I shook my head. You rich people wouldn't understand. Right now everyone else is hiding. That makes this the perfect time to hunt. Without waiting for her, I turned and walked straight into the forest. She stared at my back for a moment. Is this guy insane? But in the end, she followed. That night, instead of resting, we hunted non-stop. Before long, a group of magic apes spotted us. These creatures were intelligent and immediately took the high ground. But unfortunately for them, they chose the wrong target. Kill them. Before they could even react, she leaped into the air. Claw strikes flashed, and in an instant the apes were completely wiped out. Seeing this, Luna Heart was stunned again. A tier 1 level 7 monster had no chance at all. At this point she finally started to question everything. Is this really just a zombie? But I didn't care about her reaction. Finish it quickly. The next morning, the exam finally ended. Both of us passed. Luna Heart looked relieved. Thank you seriously. If it wasn't for you I wouldn't have made it. I waved it off. No need. I only helped because of the money. And don't forget, you still owe me 105,000 credits. Her face instantly darkened again. You really are the worst. Soon after, we were teleported out of the trial. The results were brutal. 82 passed, 403 eliminated, 75 died. The entire arena was filled with noise, some people cheering, others crying in despair. As I walked out, my friend rushed toward me. You're okay? You didn't even get injured. Then he sighed. Doesn't matter, even if you failed, I'll take care of you. I didn't say anything. I just projected my result in front of him. Passed. He froze. You actually made it? But before we could talk more, someone important approached. The city lord. Everyone around us fell silent. Even the top genius nearby started acting respectful. But the city lord ignored him and walked straight toward me. You're Ethan Blake? I nodded. Even I was surprised he knew my name. After giving a few simple instructions, he left. My friend was still shaking. Do you know him? Not really. But not far away, someone else was watching me. Victor Kane. A true genius from a powerful family. When he heard about me, his expression darkened. A trash zombie user getting this much attention? Let's see how strong you really are in the next round. And just like that, a new rivalry was born. Meanwhile, I returned home. After a month of hard work, my strength had skyrocketed. All thanks to the system. I opened my rewards panel, 3 spirit crystals. Each one gives 500 energy. That means I now had 2,400 energy in total. And normally, tier 1 has a cap of 1,000. Which means I had already broken past the limit. At this rate, top rankings are guaranteed. After days of non-stop fighting, I finally relaxed. Then suddenly, I had an idea. Let's go eat. I called my friend and also the richest person I knew, Luna Heart. Meanwhile, she was taking a bath when she got my call. The moment she heard my voice, she immediately got serious. But when she heard I was inviting her to eat, she jumped out of the bath instantly. That night, we met at a high-end restaurant. My friend was completely shocked. This place is insane. Can we really eat here? I smiled calmly. Don't worry, I'm paying. Of course, with her money. Soon, she arrived. Dressed up, looking stunning. My friend's jaw dropped. You actually know her? After introductions, we entered the private room. Looking at the luxurious setting, my friend was overwhelmed. Can I really eat anything? Go ahead. And just like that, we started eating. Meanwhile, in another place, the Liu family was in chaos. Because Ryan Cole had failed the exam. Which meant he lost his position as heir. Stripped of everything. Kneeling on the ground, his face was filled with hatred. Ethan Blake. This is all your fault. I'll make you pay for this. And just like that, a new enemy was born. The morning of the second round of exams arrived. For massive battle platforms had been set up in the arena. Chris, looking like a worried mother, was already lecturing me. Second round is combat. Be careful. Your zombie is defense type. If things get bad, just forfeit. I let him finish. Then the match brackets appeared. Platform 1, Chris vs. Henry Fei. Platform 2, Liu Tian vs. Fengwu. Platform 3, Max Jian vs. Tyson Shan. Platform 4, Ethan Blake vs. Terry Chen. The moment I saw the brackets, my system panel lit up with 6 simultaneous tasks. Task 1, win each match plus 10% EXP per win. Task 2, reach top 20 reward. 2 spirit crystals. Task 3, reach top 10 reward. Body enhancement. Task 4, reach top 5 reward. Plus 10% growth rate. Task 5, reach top 3 reward. Contractable flying spirit beast. Task 6, first place reward. Talent rebirth, Grants any spirit companion the power of resurrection 6 tasks all at once. And the reward stack. I had never seen the system this generous before. Before I could even process it, the referee was already calling my name. I walked up to platform 4. My opponent, Terry Chen, was already waiting. He looked at me once, and sneered. Clearly, he'd already written me off. Without waiting for the referee, he summoned his spirit beast first. A one-horned rhino. Heavy, built for raw power. I called out my partner. The moment she appeared, the crowd went wild. What kind of spirit companion is that? She's beautiful. That's clearly a living person. Terry Chen stared, then shook it off. Just a pretty face. Doesn't matter. Rhino, crush her. The beast charged, but I just smiled. A power-type monster going up against her? He really has no idea. Show him what you've got. She didn't hesitate. She shot forward like a bullet, and the moment she met the charging rhino, she stopped it, dead in its tracks. With one hand, the arena fell completely silent. Terry Chen's eye twitched. That's impossible. She lifted it, then threw it off the platform. The referee blinked, then slowly raised his hand. Winner, Ethan Blake. The crowd exploded, and the system rewarded me immediately, plus 10% EXP. She reached Tier 1, Level 10, one step away from Tier 2. Round 1 ended. Chris had won his match too, though he'd taken some hits. I checked on him. His face was pale, his side bandaged. I'm fine, he said, waving me off. Just the next round might be rough. Round 2 brackets dropped. Platform 1, Ethan Blake vs. Felix Chen. I scanned the name. Second-rate family. Wind type. Flying spirit beast. Flying types. The one thing she can't catch in the air. That's why I upgraded the chains to level 2. I walked up to the platform. Felix Chen was already on his bird, a massive blue eagle, looking down at me like I was an insect. Kid, save yourself the embarrassment and forfeit now. I tilted my head. Let's see who's embarrassed when it's over. That set him off. Blue eagle, feather barrage. Finish it. Thousands of razor-sharp feathers rained down like blades. I activated my shield, then I told her to activate blood mist. The entire platform disappeared in a wave of deep red fog. Felix Chen frowned from above. He couldn't see anything. Eagle, fly higher. Blow it away. Exactly what I wanted. The moment he climbed higher, I released my level 2 energy chains. From below the mist, the chains shot upward and wrapped around the eagle's wings. She was already moving. She burst out of the fog, flew straight up, and appeared behind Felix Chen before he could even blink. No escape. I yanked the chains and sent both rider and bird crashing down off the platform together. The referee stared. Then, winner, Ethan Blake. In the stands, the Academy representatives exchanged glances. That was planned from the start. He upgraded chains specifically for flying types. This kid is scary. Round 3. Platform 3, Ethan Blake vs. Yi, Cloud family's youngest daughter. Red hair, calm eyes. No trash talk before the match. She summoned her spirit beast without a word. Ice Frost Giant Bear. The crowd gasped. Rare growth type. Ice element. Massive size. A beast that cost a fortune to raise. This was a real fight. She stepped back. The bear charged. Blood mist, I said quietly. The bear crashed through the fog and hit nothing. It looked around, confused. Then Yuna gave the order, ice breath surge. Freeze the entire platform. A wall of freezing ice poured from the bear's mouth, filling the entire arena floor with frost. But it didn't touch her. Not a single degree of cold. Yuna's eyes widened. Zombie-type spirit companions have ice resistance. Of course. I let her work it out. Then, her turn. She charged. 1 hit. 2 hits. 3. The bear stumbled. Roared. Fought back, but every ice counterattack simply passed through her like cold air. Finally, the bear collapsed. Yuna stood quietly, then bowed slightly. I concede. Winner, Ethan Blake. The semi-finals. The opponent this time? Jason Jong. Another recognized genius. Son of a powerful family. Top of his class. Already near the Tier 2 threshold. The crowd buzzed with excitement. This is the real match. 2 geniuses. Jason Jong won't go down easy. I walked up to the platform. Jason Jong studied me carefully. Unlike the others, he didn't sneer. Didn't boast. He just looked at me with serious eyes. I've watched your previous matches. You fight smart. I respect that. I nodded. Then let's make it a good match. He summoned 2 spirit beasts at once, a lightning-type dragon, and a heavy stone warrior. Double summon. Simultaneous attack. The crowd roared. But I was already thinking 2 steps ahead. The dragon is his main attacker. The stone warrior is bait, meant to split my focus. Ignore the bait. Go straight for the dragon. She exploded forward, and the stone warrior immediately moved to intercept, but I activated energy chains at that exact moment. The chains wrapped around the stone warrior's legs, and held it in place long enough for her to blow past it entirely. The dragon had no time to react. She drove a strike straight into its flank, and sent it skidding across the platform. Jason Jong didn't panic. Stone warrior, meteor strike. The stone warrior tore free of my chains, and hurled itself at me like a cannonball. I dove sideways, but it clipped my shoulder. Pain flared. I gritted my teeth. He targets the handler, not the beast. Smart. Blood mist. Now. The platform disappeared into red fog again. Jason Jong held his ground. He didn't rush in. He waited. He knows it's a trap. So I changed tactics. Come out of the fog. She stepped into the open, visible, no mist, and looked straight at Jason Jong. He blinked. Why would they? And in that split second of confusion, I appeared from the side. My chains flew. Both his spirit beasts locked simultaneously. He couldn't move. Couldn't command them. 3 seconds. That was all she needed. Stone warrior, down. Dragon, off the platform. Jason Jong stood there for a long moment, then smiled slightly. Well played. He stepped back off the platform. Winner, Ethan Blake. The city lord sat up in his chair. That boy, he murmured. He's been holding back this entire time. The academy representatives were already arguing, but the referee silenced everyone with a single announcement. The final rankings are confirmed. 4th place, Liu Chen 3rd place, Luna Hart 2nd place, Jason Jong 1st place, Ethan Blake. The entire arena went dead quiet. Then it erupted. 1st place, the zombie user. Not a single noble family. When was the last time a nobody took 1st? I stretched my arms above my head. Finally. It's over. As I walked off the platform, Luna Hart was already waiting at the bottom. Congratulations, she said. I waved it off casually. You did well too. She crossed her arms. Which academy are you choosing? Before I could answer, the giant screen above the arena lit up. All 4 top academies had submitted their picks. Blue Dragon Academy, Ethan Blake, Liu Chen, Terry Chen. Vermilion Bird Academy, Ethan Blake, Jason Jong, Uni White Tiger Academy, Ethan Blake, Liu Chen, Max Gen Black Tortoise Academy, Ethan Blake, Luna Hart, Jason Jong. Every single academy had me as their first pick. The crowd went absolutely insane. For top academies, all of them. Vermilion Bird never accepts male students. Are they breaking their own rules? Then the bidding war started, live, in front of everyone. Blue Dragon's representative stood up first. Ethan Blake, come to Blue Dragon. I'll give you 5% more resources than any other student, plus 3 secret realm entries per year. White Tiger immediately countered. 8% more resources. 5 entries per year. Guaranteed until graduation. Blue Dragon shot back. That's underhanded. Vermilion Bird's representative, Teacher Hanayu, stood slowly. 10% extra resources. 5 entries per year. Then she paused. And you'll be the only male student in the entire school. The male students in the audience went completely ballistic. One guy. Entire school of girls. I'm so jealous, but I barely heard that part. Because she then added, 1 secret realm entry per month. 12 entries per year. The other representatives fell silent. That was it. That was the offer. I didn't hesitate. Vermilion Bird Academy. Deal. The system chimed immediately. Congratulations on 1st place. Reward. Talent rebirth. Can grant any spirit companion the ability to resurrect once per month. Perfect. I know exactly who this goes to. Meanwhile, the city lord secretary leaned over. So are you really giving him the indestructible drum? That's your personal collection, the city lord laughed. Consider it an investment. This kid's ceiling, I can't even see it yet. He called me to his office personally. 30 million Federation credits. And 1 indestructible bone drum, an extremely rare top-tier material for undead-type spirit companions. I stared at it for a long time. Blood is going to need this someday. I thanked him, then walked back out into the sunlight. Chris was already waiting, practically vibrating. You're the first guy ever accepted into Vermilion Bird. Luna Hart appeared behind him. She'd been waiting too, but she wasn't smiling. She crossed her arms and looked away. Must be nice, she muttered. The entire school is girls. Except for you. I blinked. Is that jealousy? Her face turned bright red. It absolutely is not. She spun around and walked away. I watched her go. Strange girl. But the next morning, everything changed. Because when I arrived at the east side of the city, a sleek, gleaming airship was waiting, the Vermilion Bird Academy vessel, and standing at the entrance were dozens of female students, all staring at me with curiosity. Teacher Hanayu greeted me with a calm smile. "Welcome to Vermilion Bird, Ethan Blake. Your room is ready. A private villa, since you're one of a kind." I thanked her and stepped aboard. But just as I was beginning to take in the view from the deck, alarms blared across the ship. The navigator's voice crackled over the intercom. "Warning. Large formation of flying monsters detected ahead. Black Crow Cluster, Tier 1. Numbers in the hundreds." Teacher Hanayu appeared on deck immediately. Her expression calm. "Nothing to worry about," she told the new students. "Consider this your first practical lesson." She looked at me, then at Uniyi standing nearby. "Ethan, Uniyi, summon your companions. Guard the ship." Uniyi called out her ice frost giant bear. I called her out. The moment she appeared, the bear took one look at her and immediately tensed up into battle stance. Uniyi grabbed its fur. "Da Shone, calm down. He's not an enemy. Small incident. Moving on." The system popped up immediately. Real-world mission. Defeat as many black crows as possible within 10 minutes. The more you defeat, the better the reward. Oh? I didn't even finish reading it. Kill as many as you can. Don't hold back. She launched herself into the crow swarm and tore through it like a red storm. 1, 5, 10, 50. The entire airship fell silent watching her. What is that thing? How is a spirit companion moving like that? Then, the sky darkened. A wave of black mist rolled in, and from its center, a massive crow emerged. Black Crow King. Tier 2, Level 1. Teacher Hanayu stiffened. Everyone stand back, but I was already calculating. Tier 2 boss. More experience. Better rewards. Go after the king. Teacher Hanayu spun around. "Ethan, don't. She can't handle a Tier 2 monster," I smiled. "She can." Hanayu's expression flashed with frustration. She reached back and summoned her own spirit beast. A 7-tier blazing kite erupted from her hand in a pillar of fire. 7-tier. The entire ship went silent. Students dropped to their knees in awe. The crow scattered instantly, and in that chaos, she was already on the Crow King. Claws raking its neck. Poison seeping into the wound. Hanayu blinked. "Poison type?" The Crow King shrieked. Tried to flee, but without the flock, it had nowhere to go. She drove it across the sky, strike after strike, until finally, it escaped into the distance. TCH. Got away, but the system rewarded the rest. Real-world mission complete. 478 black crows eliminated. Reward. 3 EXP crystals plus 1 growth crystal. I read the descriptions. EXP crystal. Grants 10% current EXP to chosen companion. Growth crystal. Grants 10% current growth rate. I looked at her standing on the ship's railing. Wind in her hair. Eyes calm. It's time. Back in my room, I opened her evolution panel. Evolution conditions, met. Materials, sufficient. I pressed the button. The room exploded in blood-red light. The walls shook. Other cabins panicked. But I didn't look away. When the light faded, she was still standing there. Same face. But the system showed something completely different now. Name. Seraph, Spirit Queen Tier 2, Level 1 growth rate. Rare new talents. Physical resistance, ultimate, magic resistance, ultimate, hyperspeed, blood regeneration new skills. Blood manipulation, flight unlocked. Flying ability blood manipulation, can control the blood inside a target's body. The stronger the target, the less effective. Flight, unlimited stamina. No speed cap at current tier. I stared at the panel for a full 10 seconds. Then I started laughing. She can fly now. And she can control blood. And that wasn't even the end. Because at that exact moment, the spirit egg I'd been saving started to crack. Gold light poured through the seams. I set it down carefully, dropped a single drop of blood onto it. By my blood, awaken. My second companion. The shell exploded in fire. And from the flame, a phoenix rose. Not a bird. A person. Burning feathers. Golden eyes. She looked at me with complete calm. My name? I blinked. She speaks. Ember, I said. Little 9. The phoenix tilted her head. I like it. I checked her panel. Name. Ember, Sacred Bird Tier 1, Level 9 growth rate. Epic talent. Flight Phoenix Fire Rebirth talent. Unlocked from my talent rebirth reward, Infinite Resurrection. Once per month. I looked at the two of them. Seraph, calm. Powerful. Evolving endlessly. Ember, brilliant. Rare. Unkillable. 2 companions. One with no limits. the other who can never truly die. I leaned back and closed my eyes. The academy hasn't even started yet, and I'm already here. On the third evening, the ship descended over a city unlike anything I'd ever seen. Towering spires, glowing formations, crowds filling the streets. Vermilion-bird holy city. Every new student pressed against the railings, speechless. Teacher Hannah, you stood at the front. This is your home for the next few years. Make it worth it. The moment we stepped off, a sports car with fire-burning tires came screaming to a stop right in front of us. A girl leaned out the window. Teacher Hannah, the principal sent me to pick up a student named Ethan Blake. Hannah, you pointed at me. That's him. The girl stared. Her mouth fell open. This is a guy. Are you cross-dressing? I cleared my throat. I am very much a man. She couldn't process it. Hannah, you quickly explained. Ethan was a special exception. The most fought-over student from this year's exam. She worked very hard to recruit him. The girl finally relaxed. Well then, get in. I'll take you to your dorm. I said goodbye to Yi and jumped in. We hadn't even left the landing area yet and the news was already spreading across the entire school. Vermilion-bird Academy has a male student. The first one. In history. The whole campus erupted. Meanwhile, I was being driven to my room, which turned out to be a private villa. Just for me. I smiled. At least they treat their only male student well. That evening, I met with the principal, a beautiful woman behind a mask. Calm eyes. Unshakable aura. She welcomed me personally. I've heard you already mastered level 2 energy at tier 1. Is that true? Yes. She smiled. In your eyes, I can see something immeasurable. Then she placed me directly into the Vermilion-bird elite class, the top class in the entire academy. Students chosen from across the entire federation. When I walked in, every single girl in the room went quiet, then exploded. That's him. He's actually cute. I thought breaking the rules meant they'd bring in someone average. No way he's that strong, right? I stood there, toes curling. This is going to be a long few years. The class supervisor, a strict woman named Grace Yu, introduced herself coldly, then announced the group assignments. I was placed in Group 1. Personal mentor. Teacher Hannah Yu. The entire classroom went wild. Hannah Yu hasn't taken students in years. She's doing it for him. Grace Yu silenced them all in one sentence. And just like that, orientation ended. That same afternoon, Hannah Yu pulled me aside and handed me a card. Secret Realm card. 1 use per month. My eyes lit up immediately. You can go explore on your own, she said. The realm is the fastest way to grow. I practically ran to the secret realm hall. The guard at the entrance, a serious woman in full armor, took one look at me and barked, "New student. What are you doing here?" I showed her the card. She stared at it, then stared at me, then walked me to the entrance, muttering about reckless kids the entire way. The first door is Tier 1 realm. Safest option for new students. I looked at the doors. Tier 1, Tier 2. The system immediately popped up. Task. Explore the Tier 2 secret realm. Reward based on performance. I didn't even hesitate. I walked straight past the first door and stepped into the Tier 2 realm. The guard's voice echoed behind me. "Kid, wait, too late." The portal had already swallowed me whole. The moment I arrived, I summoned both companions. Seraph, calm and ready. And on my shoulder, Ember stretched her wings and looked around curiously. "Where are we? Why did you bring us here?" I smiled. "This is your training ground, Ju. 3 days. I need you at Tier 2 before we leave." She immediately lifted her claws off my shoulder. "Don't touch me. And don't worry, leveling up is easy." She launched into the sky, and the moment she cleared the treetops, flames erupted around her body. Every monster within eyesight scattered, ran, fled in every direction. Flying predator, fire type. Nothing wants to be near her. I watched her circle once, then unleash a wall of flame across the entire plane. The scorched smell drifted down. I blinked. Did she just clear the entire area in one pass? Meanwhile, back at the academy, the teachers were already arguing about me. Life supervisor Grace Yu stormed into Hannah Yu's office. "You let a new student go into the Tier 2 realm alone." Hannah Yu didn't look up from her desk. "He'll be fine. He went into the Tier 2 realm, Hannah Yu. Not Tier 1. Tier 2. A pause. "He did?" "Yes." Another pause. "That's fine too." Grace Yu looked like she wanted to flip the desk. Inside the realm, Ember had already attracted attention. A pack of 2-tier wild wolves came charging out of the forest, led by a massive wolf alpha. She looked at them, then looked at me. "I'll handle this." She dove. Hellfire activated. The green flame swept through the wolf pack like a wave, The Alpha shrieked, but Ember absorbed every counterattack. Fire attribute immunity. Their flames just made her stronger. In 10 seconds, the entire pack was ash. I stared from the ground below. Juyu just one-shotted a 2-tier Alpha. She landed beside me, looking smug. I told you. Easy. The system chimed, drop. Wolf Claw Flame Crystal. Auto-collected. I looked at the pile of materials forming at my feet. 3 days of this I was going to leave here rich. Day 2, we stumbled into something interesting. Seraph suddenly stopped walking. She turned to look at a cluster of glowing green light nestled between 2 ancient trees. A fruit, pulsing softly. I moved toward it, and Seraph shoved me aside. Hard. I stumbled back, confused, then saw it. A double-headed green python. Tier 2, level 8. Coiled directly beneath the tree. Guarding. I exhaled slowly. That was close. The snake noticed us. Both heads rose. Hissing. I tried locking it with energy chains, but this thing was Tier 2, level 8. My chains stretched and snapped like thread. It shrugged them off without slowing down. Fine. Jew. Don't burn the fruit. She sighed loudly. You're so demanding. Then she dove headfirst at the snake. The 2 heads lunged at her from both sides, but she twisted through them, wrapped in green hellfire, and drove both heads into the ground simultaneously. 2.5 minutes later, the snake stopped moving. I walked over and picked up the glowing fruit. Death Spirit Fruit. System description, rare. Extremely valuable. A top-tier evolution material for undead-type spirit companions. I stared at it. This is what Seraph needs for her next evolution. I looked at her standing quietly beside me. She looked back. I tucked it carefully into my storage ring. Let's keep moving. Day 3, we found a troop of 4-armed apes in the deeper forest. Then a nest of fire monkeys that chased us for 20 minutes. Then a flock of 6-eyed ravens that Ember dissolved in about 4 seconds. By the time the 3-day timer ended, Ember had reached Tier 2, level 2. Seraph had reached Tier 2, level 3. And the system delivered its final reward, task complete. Reward. True Eye abilities 5 EXP crystals 5 growth crystals. I opened the True Eye description. True Eye. Can scan any target and reveal all data, name, age, level, skills, spirit companions, and more. Costs 20 energy per second. Cannot be upgraded. I immediately tested it on a falling leaf nearby. Name. Red maple leaf. Age. 30+ years. Special properties. Maintains color year-round due to latent energy. I blinked. That's incredibly useful. Then I tested it on a passing senior student walking by. Name. Age. Level. Skills. Companion types. And then, measurements. I closed it immediately. Okay. That part of the system is a little too thorough. Back at the academy, the news had already spread. The new male student went into the Tier 2 realm alone on day 1. The entire school was talking about nothing else. In the cafeteria, his classmates He Shui and Sun Ning were whispering. He's either insane or incredible. Probably both. Meanwhile, I was already moving. For days in the academy. Directly promoted to 2nd year. Hanayu herself handed me the paperwork. Along with that, my first scholarship payment. And directions to Tianyu Pavilion, the best materials trading house in the entire holy city. I stared at the building when I arrived. It looked less like a shop and more like a royal treasury. Gold architecture. Armed guards. Glowing formations on every wall. I walked in. The service staff took one look at my student uniform and immediately tried to throw me out. Vermilion Bird only accepts female students. You clearly don't belong here. Please leave. Before I could argue, a voice cut across the hall. Old Zhao. Everyone turned. A young woman in elegant robes was walking toward us. I activated True Eye immediately. Name. Sophia Vale. Age. 20. Level. Tier 3, level 5. 3 spirit companions. Firewing Dragon. Thunder Leopard. Poison Vine. Measurements. 92-62-87. I closed the measurements section immediately. She looked at Old Zhao, then at me. Apologized to him. Old Zhao blinked. But Vermilion Bird doesn't accept. He is from Vermilion Bird, she said flatly. He's the only male student they've ever accepted. Old Zhao looked like the ground had opened beneath him. Sophia Vale turned to me with a calm smile. You must be Ethan Blake. I'm Sophia Vale, 3rd-year student, and the young mistress of this pavilion. I've heard about you. She glanced at my storage ring. You have materials to sell? I pulled out the ring and emptied it. The table filled up. Then the table overflowed onto the floor. Old Zhao's eye twitched. Sophia Vale stared. You went into the Tier 2 realm alone and came back with all of this? It was a productive 3 days. She burst out laughing, then immediately spotted something on the floor, a small green glowing sphere. Her expression changed completely. Is that a jade green spider bead? I don't have any grass-type companions, I said. So it's useless to me. I'll take it, she said immediately. My poison vine needs it to evolve. Deal made. Old Zhao counted everything. 45 million Federation credits total. Minus the 17 million I spent on new equipment and materials, I walked out with 28 million net profit. From 3 days' work. And I can go back every month. I was doing the math in my head when a foot came flying at my face. I ducked. Just barely. A girl with dyed hair and extremely long legs landed in front of me and glared. You're Ethan Blake. I am. Then fight me. Before I could even ask why, she threw a high kick straight at my head. I dodged. She threw another. I dodged again. Who are you? You don't need to know who I am, she said coldly. Just beat me first. Then she turned and walked away. Don't let me see you again. I stood there in the middle of the street, completely baffled. When I finally reached teacher Hanayu, panting from running, I explained what happened. Hanayu listened, then smiled. That was Vera Cross. 2nd year. Rank 3. I stared. She just randomly attacked me in the street. You'll get used to it. Before I could even process that, a silver-haired woman in a long coat came strolling toward us. Hanayu, you came back and didn't even say hi? Hanayu sighed. Lyra Silver. I've been busy. The silver-haired woman ignored her and looked straight at me. She tilted my chin up with one finger. So this is the famous new addition. She smiled like she'd just found something interesting. Walk with me. I'll take you to meet your 2nd-year classmates. I looked at Hanayu. Hanayu shrugged. She's your 2nd-year homeroom teacher. Be respectful. Lyra Silver. Star of the Academy. Multiple S-rank missions. And apparently, completely unbothered by personal space. The 2nd-year arena. 3 students were already there. When they saw me, their reaction was immediate. Is that really him? 1 week in and he's already 2nd year? That's impossible. Lyra Silver silenced them all with one clap. Enough. He's here. Deal with it. The 2nd-year top student, Zoe Zhao, stepped forward. Silver hair. Calm eyes. Genuinely strong aura. Welcome to 2nd year, Ethan. I used True Eye immediately. Tier 2, Level 8. 2 rare spirit companions, Gale Dragon and Iron Titan. Both Tier 2, Level 8. I looked at her with new respect. She's the real deal. Then I asked, if I defeat you, do I automatically become first in 2nd year? The room went quiet. Lyra Silver laughed loudly. Silver Haze blinked. Technically yes, but you'd need to reach top 20 first. That's the ranking rule. I started to say something when a voice cut in from behind. No need for all that. Vera Cross. She'd followed me. Arms crossed. Expression icy. If you can beat me, I'll hand over my rank 3 seat directly. No waiting. No ranking system. But if you lose, you leave this class. The crowd held its breath. I looked at her. She stared back. She attacked me in the street without warning. She's been hostile since before we even met. And now she's offering her seat as a bet. I nodded. Deal. She summoned her spirit beast without another word. Thunder Leopard Bear. The air crackled. Purple lightning cascaded off its fur. For meters tall. The crowd gasped. I called out Seraph. The moment she appeared, every girl in the arena forgot about the match entirely. Vera Cross stared at her. You're not calling your Phoenix. Don't need to. Her eye twitched. Don't underestimate me. The bear charged, and Seraph met it head-on. The collision sent shockwaves across the arena floor. The two of them clashed again. And again. Perfectly matched in speed. Almost matched in strength. But the bear had one trick left. Thunder armor activated. Lightning condensed around its body, forming a glowing suit of crackling purple energy. Silver Haze leaned forward. Anything that touches it now gets shocked. Seraph's arms will be fried. But Seraph didn't stop. She drove into the bear again and again, every hit sending jolts of electricity through her arms, and every wound healed instantly. Hyper regeneration. The crowd went dead silent. Vera Cross's face changed. The bear was landing hits that should have ended this fight 3 times already. And Seraph was just standing there. Healing. Unblinking. The bear was exhausted. Seraph was not. Finally, the bear collapsed. Vera Cross clenched her teeth. But she wasn't done. Phantom lizard, now. From nowhere, an invisible creature appeared. No one had seen it arrive. It had been hiding since the start of the match. And it was already behind me. It lunged, but I stepped left. Calmly. Vera Cross froze. How did you see it? I looked at her. True Eye sees everything. It's been there the whole time. Then, Ember. Finish it. The phoenix appeared from my spirit seal. In an instant, a fireball crashed into the ground where the lizard stood. The lizard scrambled away, but Ember didn't let it go. Hellfire, full spread. Green firebirds poured from the sky in every direction, covering every inch of the arena. The thunder leopard bear, already exhausted, was caught in the blast. The phantom lizard, caught too. Both collapsed at the arena's edge. Frozen in place, iced out by hellfire. Vera Cross stared at the destruction around her. Her two spirit beasts, completely out. The entire arena had been scorched. Teachers came running. One of them grabbed Hanayu's arm. Is that a phoenix? You knew he had this and said nothing. Hanayu smiled. I told you. I'd never seen his second companion before today. Vera Cross knelt slowly. I concede. The rank 3 seat is yours. The arena exploded. A phoenix. He's been here 1 week. His rank 3 now. The system rewarded me quietly in the background. New rank achieved. Second year, rank 3. Reward. 1 mystery item. I opened it later in my dorm room. Phoenix Essence Blood, Tier 9, Level 10 Phoenix. 3 uses. Each use summons a Tier 9 Phoenix for 5 minutes. I stared at it for a long time, then carefully placed it in my storage ring. For emergencies only. And the rank 3 credit fund from Vera Cross's account arrived shortly after. She'd kept her word. I looked at the transfer notification. At least she's honest. Word reached Lyra Silver's office quickly. She was already laughing before she even finished reading the report. Defeated rank 3 with a phoenix on his first day in second year. This kid. She tapped her desk thoughtfully. I need to keep a close eye on him. 1 week after the Black Rock City battle, I walked up to Silver Haze with a simple statement. I'm challenging you for rank 1. The entire second year erupted. He just got here. He's only been a second year for a week. Is he insane? Silver Haze looked at me, then smiled. You have the right to challenge now. Don't hold back. She summoned both companions simultaneously. Gale Dragon, Iron Titan, side by side. A wall of power. The crowd could feel the pressure from the stands. I called out Seraph. Silver Haze frowned. You're not using your phoenix again? You're the rank 1 student, I said. Seraph is enough. That lit a fire in her eyes. Don't regret it. She gave the order, Iron Titan. Meteor crash. 2 fists the size of boulders came crashing down. I dove sideways. The shockwave knocked me off my feet anyway. She targets me directly. Smart. From above, the Gale Dragon charged up and released a massive wind element energy sphere straight at me. I rolled, and the sphere detonated behind me. 2 attackers, both targeting me instead of Seraph. She's read my fighting style. Cut off the handler. Force the spirit companion to divide focus. Fine. I changed tactics. Blood mist, cover the arena. Red fog rolled across the platform. Silver Haze held her position. Waited. She won't rush in. She knows it's a trap. So I did something unexpected. I walked out of the fog myself. Hands at my sides. Fully visible. Silver Haze blinked. Why would he? Energy chains, dual lock. Both chains flew simultaneously, wrapped around both the Gale Dragon and the Iron Titan at once. 3 seconds. The longest 3 seconds of the match. Seraph was already moving. Iron Titan, 1 hit. Down. Gale Dragon, 2 hits. Off the platform. Silver Haze stood alone. No spirit companions. The arena was completely silent. She looked at the empty space where her beasts had been. Then at me. Then she laughed, genuinely, warmly. Well played, Ethan. She stepped back. Rank 1 is yours. The referee confirmed it. Second year, rank 1, Ethan Blake. The entire second year lost their minds. In the stands, Sophia Vale watched quietly. She said nothing, but she didn't leave either. That night, back at the pavilion, I returned with another load of materials from the secret realm. Old Zhao nearly fainted when I emptied my storage ring. This is almost 1 month's worth of our entire stock. Sophia Vale appeared from her office. She looked at the piles of materials. Then at me. Where did you even find all of this? The realm. In how long? 3 days. This month. She stared. You went back already? Every month. That was the deal. She was quiet for a moment. Then, I have a favor to ask. She reached into her coat and pulled out a small red bottle. She held it toward me carefully. I've been looking for this for years. Fire Dragon Essence Blood. My companion needs it to evolve. I have one question, she said. Where did you get it? I looked at the bottle. I've been saving this for when the time was right. I'll make a trade, I said. Take me to the next auction. There's something I want to bid on. She raised an eyebrow. That's all? That's all. She laughed, and pulled out a lollipop from somewhere. Deal, little junior. She's 3 years older than me and already acting like a big sister. But the auction was the important part. The Tianyu Pavilion auction was held the next evening. Sophia Vale had a private VIP box, number 1. We arrived early. Old Zhao briefed us on the items. There's a very rare spirit egg this session. No information about its type or origin. The appraisers couldn't identify it. My ears perked up. Starting bid? 3 million Federation credits. The auction began. Items came and went. Crimson blood flower, fire resistance herb, opened at 1 million and sold for 1.15 million. Overpriced. Rich kids bidding against each other for fun. Then, the auctioneer stepped forward with a covered platform. Our featured item for tonight, a mystery spirit egg. Even our senior appraisers could not identify its type or origin. Starting bid, 3 million Federation credits. The crowd murmured. Nobody wants an unidentified egg. Could be anything. Could be worthless. Riches in the crowd crossed their arms. Pass. Not bidding on a mystery. Waste of money. I had already scanned it the moment it appeared on stage. True eye active. The data rolled across my vision. I read it twice. Then I raised my hand. 3 million. I'll take it. Every head in the room turned toward box 1. That's the Shen family box. They're buying it themselves to avoid embarrassment. Classic. Nobody raised a counter bid. The hammer fell. Sold. 3 million. Sophia Vale leaned over. You actually want that thing? Yes. Why? I smiled. I like surprises. She didn't need to know about True Eye. The final item of the night was the Seaside Pearl, capable of summoning a Tier 8, Level 5 monster 9 times. Starting bid, 20 million. The price climbed to 35 million, then a loud voice from another box cut through, 70 million. I'll pay 70 million. The room went dead silent. Sophia Vale's expression darkened instantly. That's Marcus Vane. She stood up abruptly. The auction's almost over. Let's go. I followed her toward the exit, when 3 figures appeared in the doorway of our box. A young man. Expensive clothes. Arrogant expression. Marcus Vane. He looked at Sophia Vale like he owned her. Meng Yao. I brought you a gift. He held out the Seaside Pearl he'd just spent 70 million credits on. She didn't even look at it. Marcus Vane. Get out of my box. His expression shifted. Then his eyes landed on me. Who's this? 3 questions in rapid succession. I didn't answer any of them. He stepped toward me. I'm warning you, stay away from Meng Yao. Sophia Vale grabbed my sleeve. Ethan. Ignore him. Let's go. I leaned close and whispered, you've wanted to get rid of this guy for years, right? She blinked. Yes. Why? Then cooperate with me for the next 30 seconds. Before she could respond, I put my arm around her shoulders and kissed her. Right in front of Marcus Vane. In front of his guards. In front of everyone. The entire hallway went still. Marcus Vane looked like he'd been struck by lightning. His guards blinked at each other. One of them quietly scanned me. True Eye returned his data almost immediately. Marcus Vane's guards. 2 Tier 5 Spirit Masters. 1 Tier 7. That's serious protection for a shopping trip. Marcus Vane found his voice. You dare, I'll kill you. He snapped his fingers. All 4 guards moved forward. But Sophia Vale stepped in front of them. Her eyes were cold. This is my family's building. You want to cause trouble here? Marcus Vane's personal advisor leaned in and whispered urgently, Young master, this is the Shen family's auction. We can't. Marcus Vane's fists were shaking. He looked at me, then at Sophia Vale. Then he hurled the Seaside Pearl on the ground, and walked out. This isn't over. As his footsteps faded down the hall, his advisor was already quietly running a check on me. Young master, that student is Ethan Blake, the only male student at Vermilion Bird, and the only person in the entire Federation known to have contracted a sacred phoenix. If we move against him, there could be complications. Marcus Vane said nothing, but his face said everything. I don't care. I want him dead. Back in the box, I finally let go of Sophia Vale. She stood very still, face completely red. You can take your arm off now. People are gone. I stepped back. Sorry. Fastest solution I could think of. She turned away. My first kiss just gone like that. This junior is unbelievable. She walked away at what could only be described as a controlled sprint. I watched her go. Strange girl. Then I looked down at the spirit egg in my arms. Time to go home. Back in the dorm, Ember was lying on the rooftop in human form, pretending to nap. She opened one eye when I came in. You took forever. And you smell different. I was at an auction. She closed her eye again. Who did you kiss? I froze. How did you? I can sense things. I ignored that entirely and sat down with the spirit egg. Ember immediately sat up. Her eyes went straight to the egg. Are you getting another companion? Third one. You don't need a third one. I do. You have me. I have you and Seraph. That's already 2. 3 is better. She folded her arms and looked away dramatically. I used True Eye on the egg one more time to confirm what I'd seen at the auction. The data was exactly as I remembered. This little thing is going to be very interesting. I pressed my finger to the shell and activated the contract. A wave of spirit energy filled the room, and the shell cracked. A tiny, fluffy, 3-tailed fox tumbled out. It looked around the room with enormous eyes, then immediately climbed up my arm and sat on my shoulder. Name: Mutated 3-tailed Spirit Fox Tier 1, Level 3. Growth rate: mediocre. Talent: Natural Charm. A low-level mental immunity skills. Charm Fire. Fox Fire. I patted its head gently. Hey, welcome. Ember stared at the fox. The fox stared at Ember. Ember's hair bristled. Get off his shoulder. That's my spot. The fox immediately dove behind my back and peered around my elbow. I sighed. Jew, you're already in human form. You don't even sit on my shoulder anymore. That's beside the point. I looked at the trembling fox hiding behind me. Then I had an idea. I turned to Ember. You name it. She paused. Why me? Because you're the oldest companion. Senior privilege. She considered this seriously for a full 3 seconds. Then, Wang Cai. Riches. The fox immediately started crying. Little tears on its tiny face, shaking its head frantically. Okay, not Wang Cai, I said quickly. I looked at the little white fox. White fur, 3 tails, bright eyes. How about ivory? Little white. The fox's ears perked up. It nodded enthusiastically. Paws up. Ember watched this and turned away. Fine. Ivory then. Sounds average. But for just a moment, the corner of her mouth moved. The tiniest smile. Meanwhile, in a Tenyu Pavilion office, Sophia Vale's father, Arthur Vale, was reading a report. He looked up at his daughter. I heard you dealt with that Sun family pest today. She stiffened. It was nothing. He smiled knowingly. And who was the young man helping you? She turned bright red. He's just a junior from the academy, the one who contracted the phoenix. Silence. Yes. Arthur Vale leaned back in his chair and laughed. My daughter. Red as a tomato. Old Dad. She sprinted out of the office. He watched the door swing shut. A boy who makes my daughter blush like that. I need to meet him.